Good morning. This is Susie reporting from West County, Sonoma County live. And it is Thursday, March 20th, the first day of spring. Happy spring to everybody. I just want to remind you that that is happening today despite everything else that's going on with the coronavirus. And I want to talk today a little bit about the immune system, natural ways to boost the immune system and increase your resistance to this virus that's going around. And then also talk about our thinking around it as well, kind of reframing everything that's going on. So I don't know how long this video is going to be. I'm going to try to keep it concise. I always say take what you like and leave the rest. So I hope you get some little nuggets out of this, some tools, maybe some inspiration, and if anything, it's going to be supportive for you. So I'm going to start by talking about ways to boost the immune system. But actually, first, I want to share a little bit of my personal experience around what's going on. So I have a lot of personal stress in my life. And so I was starting to feel like 2 weeks ago that I could manage it better. And then the coronavirus came up. I mean, it's been going on since December, but 2 weeks ago, we started to notice that events were being canceled. There's a higher incidence of cases reported for the coronavirus. We were aware that Italy, people couldn't leave their homes and they were shutting down cities. They canceled the St. Patrick's Day in San Francisco. I mean, all this stuff was happening. I was like, okay, this is serious. This is really real. But I wasn't entirely paying attention to the news because I was just trying to get through my own life. And then last Tuesday during my daughter's spring break, Northern California, Bay Area counties, Sonoma County, where I live, received notice that it's shelter only. So that means that, I work in the fitness industry. I'm a fitness instructor and trainer. And so every single gym that I work at, and there's 3 main ones, closed down. So I lost my jobs temporarily. So I was dealing with that. And then trying to entertain my daughter. She's out of school now until March 27th, possibly April 7th. So all of that's going on. And so, of course, naturally, I was upset and I was watching everyone else's reaction to it. Tuesday night, I was driving 101 South and I was trying to process this shelter only thing and I went into panic. I'm not going to share my thoughts, but they were very negative and like, how could this be happening? And I was resisting it. And my thinking was pretty dark, and I can laugh about it now, but I was driving and just like there weren't many cars on the road, which is unusual at 6 p.m. driving 101 South. I was picking up on some fear that's out there. I'm very sensitive to vibration and energy, and I felt it, and I responded in more fear. And so what I did was I made a decision that I'm sort of regretting about my own family dynamics. I reorganized the way my family is set up right now, and I don't know how it's all going to pan out, but I made a decision out of fear. And I could have done it differently. I could have paused and gone into meditation or maybe called my mother and said, should I do this? But I did it, and it's okay. It's okay now. But my point is, it's really easy when everyone else seems to be in fear to respond back in fear. So my main message in this video is challenge your thinking, because your thinking, your negative thinking, does affect your immune system. There's a whole field dedicated to the immune system and the mind, and it's called psychoneuroimmunology. And basically what it means is that your own adaptation to stress and how you respond to it does affect your immune system. So if you can find ways to really manage your stress during this time, that is what is going to boost your immune system. So that's more the psychological way to manage the stress that's around us. We have our individual stress in our life, and then we have like a global kind of stress happening. And I just want to encourage you to really think about that for a second. It's huge. It's a lot of many of our freedoms were taken away this week. And we're sitting at home where many of us are not able to go to work, and it's stressful. So now is a time for more self-care and more slowing down, and we actually have the opportunity to slow down. So that's actually a gift that's coming out of this, as hard as it might be financially for many of us. Basically, I just want to remind us all that we can still buy supplements. So the practical things that you can do to boost your immune system would be vitamin D. And I would go up to 10,000 IUs a day. And when you take vitamin D, you always want to make sure that it's the D3 form. And I would recommend taking that 10,000 in 2 doses, 5,000 in the morning and 5,000 in the afternoon. Your body can only absorb 5,000 IUs at a time. So up your vitamin D if you're not already taking it. The second thing you can do, and I'm going to walk over to my cabinet. I'm going to show you my favorite tea. It's Echinacea Immune Support by the Yogi brand. So here it is. Good stuff. And what I love about this is that it tastes good. It's got the peppermint and the lemongrass, but ginger to support your digestive system. The mullein is really good for the lungs. That's an herb that supports your lungs. There's a whole bunch of stuff. There's elderberry, which is really good for like long-term immune system support. It tastes really good, and it's a pretty strong tea. So sometimes if I just have 1 cup, I'll reuse the bag a second time. So this one's great. And then hold on a second. The third thing I want to recommend is a probiotic. And you can get probiotics from food. That's it's a more ideal way of getting your probiotics, because your body's going to absorb it easily. But I think supplementation is more important now. You need more support. My favorite one, I don't have the bottle on me right now, is by the company Flora. And it's it's called Adult Probiotic, and there's 5 strains. You always want more than 1 strain. There's 5 strains. And again, Flora Adult Probiotic. I would go, I think on the bottle it says 1 to 3 a day while you're eating. I would do at least 2 a day. And because that gut microbiome is so important to keep in balance, it's so important. And it's so closely connected to your brain too, that whole brain-gut connection. So like I said, vitamin D, Echinacea Immune Support Tea, and the Flora Adult Probiotic. Eat as plant-based as possible and avoid sugar and alcohol as much as you can. And I'm sort of laughing about it because I know people are staying in and drinking more because there's nothing else to do. But alcohol and sugar do weaken your immune system. That's the reality. I know it sucks, but so I want to talk about the mind and how that affects our immune system. So our thoughts create our own reality. So if we're caught up in fear around getting sick, you're more than likely to get sick, okay? So when I heard a statistic from a friend that like 60% of the population in California could get the coronavirus, they're going by what's happened in other countries like in China and Italy. So all those statistics are really important. But I also wanted to remind you that a statistic that I read the other day, hold on a second. This comes from Johns Hopkins University. This was Tuesday, 2 days ago. 137,445 people have gotten the coronavirus. 137,445 people have gotten it. And so far, I think this is correct, 5,088 have died. 69,000 worldwide people have recovered, but the outbreaks in Italy are up to 15,000, which is like crazy. So if you look at the first statistic that I shared, if 137,500 have gotten it and only 5,000 have died, what does that tell you? Not everyone is dying from this virus. So just remember that. Could it happen? Yes. I mean, could you get it and die? That's a possibility. But if you work on your immune system and you work on your thinking around it, you're probably not going to get it. If you're isolating and you're staying at home as much as possible, your chances go way down. So just remember that your mind is really powerful. So if you're going to focus on watching the news, it's okay that you're watching the news. But if you're going to focus on, Gavin Newsom said that 60% of the population is going to get coronavirus, and you believe that, you might get it. So like, doesn't mean, challenge your thinking around it. Just because the governor says that 60% of the population is going to get this disease doesn't mean it's going to happen. And the probability of it happening is actually much smaller if we're isolating. So just remember that. Don't trip yourself up around the statistics. There's statistics. It could change, you know? And I know this disease it's newer. It hasn't been around very long and they don't know a lot about it. And I know that it can mutate. I know that it started in animals and it was transferred to humans. There could be other factors that are out there. I'm not going to get into it too much around where it, like how it originated and what could have weakened the people in China, like what weakened their immune systems. Like there's other things that are going on that could have increased the likelihood of them getting sick. I'm not going to get into that, but I just want to remind you that your thoughts do create your reality. So the more you can sort of challenge the thinking that's going on the news about probability, the more you can do that and just come back into your center and back into yourself and remember how powerful you are, how your positive thinking can boost your immune system and possibly prevent the disease from happening, then the healthier you're going to be. I'm not saying that we choose disease. I am not saying that. That's older thinking. When you get sick, you're not choosing to, like the coronavirus, you're not choosing it. Why would you want that? You're not choosing to get cancer. You're not choosing to get an autoimmune disease. But the more you can keep yourself calm, the less likely you're going to be stressed, and then your immune system's going to respond to that. So you might want some affirmations right now. You might want to write them down. I am healthy. I am well. I am powerful. I will get through this. My family will get through this. My friends will get through this, right? And then share that. So you're witnessing a friend freaking out about what's going on. Understandable. To remind them that the immune system is strong and it responds to our thinking. So maybe encourage your friends or yourself, write down that affirmation, I am healthy. Put it up on the mirror. Put it on the dashboard of your car. You are healthy. Despite what's going on, your immune system will fight it. So I just wanted to share that. We're going into 15 minutes, and this is longer than I planned, but I'm sending you lots of love and light and strength to get through this time. We as a human species have gotten through so much stuff, fires, earthquakes. Not everyone has survived, but if we could get through that, we can get through this. So stay calm, stay well. It's all going to be okay. Take care.